Donald Trump, Bernie Sanders, what do they have in common? They both got screwed by the establishment. The establishment, the deep state, the lifelong politicians. They don't like outsiders coming in and taking away their places of privilege. Bernie Sanders was on track to win the Democratic nomination, not once, but twice. The establishment realized that Bernie would have had a lower chance against Donald Trump with his communist and socialist ideas, and they did not jive with people at the top either, who like to remain in power in their cushy positions and taking in all sorts of kickbacks from lobbyists and big corporations. So suddenly, everybody in the Democratic Party, realizing that Bernie had a lower shot, lower probability against Donald Trump, they all canvassed for Joe Biden. Everybody dropped out at the same time, no doubt promised some perk down the road, and they told their supporters to vote for Sleepy Joe Biden. Alzheimer's Joe, as I call him. Bernie got absolutely screwed, not one time, but two times, but of course, because he's a total wuss, he still lines up behind the establishment. What this shows is how the presidential elections are not rigged previously at the national level. They are rigged at the lower levels during the primaries. This is so that the corporations, the powers that be, can sink their teeth into the candidates, move them both towards the center, and they fund both parties, and thus they have a piece of the candidate. They own the candidate. They aren't going to screw them, so they really don't care who wins. It's heads I win, tails I win. It really doesn't matter. Maybe you have a slight preference to one, but it's not really going to affect your business. Donald Trump came out of nowhere, took the Republican nomination. They didn't necessarily rig it against him. Maybe they didn't have time. They thought he was going to lose to Hillary Clinton. They did not rig the national election at that moment, as they might have done so just now. However, the establishment is firmly against Donald Trump and his populist movement. He is interfering with the dollar flow that is coming in from China. He is making waves. He is not starting new wars. Raytheon, Boeing, all the big defense manufacturers are seeing profits kind of whittle away. They want them back. The Democratic establishment, the deep state, are up in arms about Donald Trump. Maybe they don't like him as a person. Also, they hold significant risk legally should Donald Trump get reelected, because Donald Trump will unleash fury upon them for what they've done to Michael Flynn, for what they tried to do in terms of getting him impeached. Look, the Democratic establishment went all in on this election, regardless of whether or not there was in fact voter fraud, which there definitely is evidence that there was some, and we'll wait to see whether or not we can prove it, whether Sidney Powell and Rudy Giuliani can prove it in court as to whether or not it was done in mass. The power centers of the media, both mainstream and social, absolutely also went all in for Joe Biden. They've completely destroyed their credibility. They've alienated a large swath of the American public that will never tune in to CNN again. I mean, you just mentioned the word CNN to me and I'm like, basta. This is also true of social media. A lot of people are switching away from Twitter, for example, right now over to Parler because they see speech being suppressed. Twitter is actively censoring the presidential tweets. They actively suppressed the Joe Biden, Hunter Biden laptop story that implicated Joe Biden and the malfeasance and corruption that had existed during this whole time. And then they said, sorry. Jack Dorsey in front of Congress said, sorry, I guess we were wrong to suppress that information. Yeah, that's like an arsonist telling you, hey, I know I burned down your house, my bad, as he flicks his lighter at you, readying for his next salvo. The media complex has obviously been against Donald Trump from the outset. They've made him every single negative story in order to tantalize viewers and improve their ratings and get short-term profits. That's going to pass if Joe Biden is elected. What are they going to entice the viewership with? Lots of viewers have tuned away. As I said, CNN is no longer trusted, not only the most trusted name in news, but is actively distrusted by a substantial amount of the US population, as well as worldwide. Either way, the thing that Donald Trump and Bernard Sanders both have in common, they got screwed by the establishment. Peace and blessings. Hope that this adds to your day. If you like it, thumb up the video, share it with a friend, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all notifications, and have a fantastic, fantastic day. Peace out, everybody.